So the saga continues. As most of you know, my YouTube channel was primarily Sunday Fun Day, Phoenix style. Most of the trucks doing crazy and dumb stuff, a couple of American cars. But I have to crack down on that. So I devised a plan that would keep me out of trouble with the police. So I devised a plan while in another state for work on how to make my YouTube more not illegal, should I say. So basically what I'm gonna do is continue my saga of round butt versus square butt and basically blog or document the vehicles that we have here in Phoenix and in some surrounding states or wherever I choose to vacation at. So basically round butt versus square butt, what is that? Everyone knows it. Old school versus new school. And as an automotive enthusiast, my channel is not going to revolve around one particular style or kind of car, because as some of you know, I drive a Acura Integra, which is not a Honda. My insurance went up when I took Honda off and put Acura. It went up $3. So if they changed it because of the name, I'm changing it. It's not a Honda. I know if you peel out every panel on the Acura, it's gonna say Honda behind it, but it's still an Acura. And I also have a 79 Cadillac Coupe de Ville on 13x7 wire Daytons. So like I said, my automotive passion does not stop at one particular style. So basically what I'm gonna bring to you is a little bit of everything. The first car that we are bringing to this pulling up series is a Lexus VIP style round butt. It's a newer model, not an older model, so it is a round butt. Some of you may know him, some of you may not know him. He is my homie. He's been my homie for a large amount of my automotive experience. I actually met him when I was maybe 16, I think. So going on a little over 12 years. My man's back here shooting my car for whatever reason. This ain't about me, but we're about to get in touch with my good friend Raul and see if we can get him to pull up.
A few moments later.
Dude, I don't know what is going on, man.
Oh my God, shut up, call him Raul. Hey, what's going on, man?
I'm on my way of getting gas.
You getting gas?
I was. I'm leaving right now. I'm on 51st Avenue and North.
All right, so you should be here in a minute?
I should be here in like 5 minutes.
All right, then pull up.
Where you at, bro? I'm pulling up. Just spray the cutlass, I'm pulling up. I'm already dressed, bro. I'm pulling up. Just scoop the homie and we pulling up.
So Raul just pulled up on us in his Lexus. What's going on, man?
What up, man?
Nice to have you on the first episode. Are you excited?
Hell yeah, I'm excited.
All right, so you already know. I'm drilling you on this car. What do we have here?
This is a 2000 Lexus Gs400. I had this car a long time.
How many years, man?
It'll be 6 years on December 26th.
And did you buy it stock? Did you what?
Yeah, I bought it from my old dealer I worked at. I kind of had a little deal going where I was gonna buy an LS 430, and they traded this car in, and I saw it. It was like on the little rack where they keep all the cars that are coming in, and I was like, nah, I gotta have this car. So I bought this thing, and never looked back, I guess.
Was it love at first sight?
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely love at first sight. I was looking for a white car. I realistically wanted black interior, but whatever, it did the job. It had like no miles on it, and it was clean as hell. I'm the one that ruined it.
All right, so what are we on? Are we on air? We on coils?
Yeah, it's on air ride. It's gone through a couple different changes over the years. In the beginning, I didn't really know, so I kind of just went with the hype, and I ordered this kit from a company called Air Force. I'm not gonna necessarily bash them, but I wasn't happy with the product, so it's gone through a zillion changes. Right now, it's still sitting on Air Force. So this is a trunk setup. I put this car back together like 2 years ago before I moved to Phoenix, and I never changed it. It's super driver setup right now.
So this is a daily driver setup.
Yeah, essentially.
So you got your air hose just in case you get a flat. Basic daily driver setup.
Yeah.
So when you go to car shows, do you pop the trunk?
No.
No?
Nah, it's not ready for that yet.
Trunk closer? What about the hood? You pop the hood?
I did last car show I went to just because I got it detailed. But there ain't nothing going on in there yet either.
Did you detail it?
My detail guys did.
You got detail guys? That's
Yeah,
a
working
VIP
together,
life.
man.
That's a VIP life. What are you doing in the scene right now? Like, are you a car show guy, or are you just building it just cause? What's going on with you?
That's a hard question. I don't really think at this very moment I'm doing much. This car sits a whole lot of the time. I got a couple ideas up my sleeve though. Right now I'd say I'm just a guy that pulls up to car shows every once in a while, depending on how I feel.
And we pull up to lowrider meets, we pull up to truck events, we pull up to Lexus events, car events, whatever, right?
Yes, sir. I mean, I guess I just pull it out every once in a while just because it's clean enough to show, but it's definitely not what I would consider a show car yet.
So, quick background, what kind of cars does your list entail? You had a full drag car?
Oh, that I've owned? I don't know, man. I'm in the triple digits. I own a lot of cars. Cool cars. I owned a 93 Civic hatchback that I built. Started out life as just a regular car, GSR swap, and then it kind of evolved one step after another into a full-blown drag car. I've owned
fastest time.
9, I don't even remember, dude. 9 something at like 164 mile an hour.
What was the horsepower push on that day?
That car made at that time it made a little over 800 horsepower.
Yikes! You said drift car. What do we have?
I had a 95 S14.5. For those of you that don't know, that's a S14 with an S15 front. Origin overs, Olin's coilovers, the whole 9. It was definitely a fun little slide machine.
And why didn't we run with that drift?
I don't know. I don't know why I said that. Oh wait, I do know. Alcohol played a role in that one. I went out one night. I was a little tipsy. Friends of friends offered me some money for the car. I said sure, whatever. Never thought they'd come through, and then they came through, and I guess I'm a man of my word. I sold the car and hated every minute of it. So that's why that car is gone.
So regrets?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'd probably still have that car. I also had this at the time, so it was more or less like, I'm gonna take that money and put it in this, and I don't think I put a penny into it. So that's why that's gone. I've owned SD with a 1J. That was a lot of fun. Piece of shit though, it broke a lot, but it was a lot of fun. I've owned several other VIP platforms, LS's, other GS's. Nothing to this extent though. I've never gotten this crazy, and about as crazy as I'm about to get with it.
And you said this isn't your daily driver?
No, not at all. I've owned several of those too. I mean, I built an EK hatch as well. I don't know, Otis knows about this.
Last year at IBOC, we're gonna snap to a flashback photo right now. 2017.
That was bought and built in like 6 months. I put every penny and every bit of time I had in about 6 months into this car because I was hyped about building another Honda. And I went to IBOC, it was a blast, and then like most of my other cars, I sold it like as soon as I got back.
Which disappointed all of us.
And it did. It disappointed me too, don't worry. I flip through my little camera roll sometimes in my phone and I look at pictures and I'm like, why did I sell that car? I could have just left it the way it sat and daily drove that and then kept going with this, but I don't know, I sold it.
So what's the daily driver as we speak?
2007 Chevy Silverado, it's all stock.
But we can drive this every day if we wanted to.
Yeah, I just don't.
What kind of wheels are these, my guy?
These are Weds Maverick Series 210Ss. One and only set, basically. They did make this wheel limitedly, but they never made them in these specs. So they were custom made for this car.
What kind of specs we got? We got staggered? They look staggered.
Yeah, they are 20 by 9.5, 20 by 10.5. They are +5 and 0. They're they're low disc up front and super low disc in the rear.
All right, so what's the most favorite part of this car?
My favorite part of this car, as it stands, probably the wheels right now.
Well,
I'm real hyped about those. This is more of a recent change in the car. It's gone through a couple different sets. This set actually belonged on this car years ago. I bought them from a good friend of mine who had them custom built for a GS just like mine. And I bought them, and at the time I wasn't as committed to go as wide with the fenders and pull the shit out of them and put a bunch of camber in the car or whatever, so I ended up selling them, and then I bought them back. Now the car's got camber arms and caster arms and everything in it, so they fit very well. So now that they went back on the car, it looks great to me right now. I mean, that's probably my favorite part right now.
What's the worst part of your car? What part makes you mad?
Oh, that's easy. Anybody that knows me knows that. My fenders, they look like bacon. You can go ahead and zoom in on them joints.
He said zoom in on them joints. They're not that bad. They actually could be worse. And that's the worst part on the car. Nothing else grinds your gears more than the fenders.
The lip, because I bought the lip and I had it paint matched to the car, and T-minus like 2 hours later I went to Jack in the Box and picked it up on the drive-thru. How, I don't know, but I managed that. You can go ahead and look at that too.
So you got this painted, you went on a food run and scuffed them up.
Yeah, like an hour after I got this shit on the car.
Jack in the Box on 35th?
Yeah, the one with the peaked ass thing. Yeah. That
So
one. It claimed some of the paint.
anybody and everybody, if you know Phoenix, 35th and what was it? 35th and Northern. There's a Jack in the Box, and there's a
Don't go
slope that is not lower car friendly. So if you're ever in the area and you want Jack in the Box, we suggest you relocate because not lower car friendly. For all you lower car people.
And I'm on bags and it's still scraped right up, so, you know.
I'm never going there, that's for sure. All right, so next question. Where do you plan on going with this car?
There's a big list of shit I want to do with this car. Actually, recently I went to VIP Fest in San Diego, and it was an eye-opener, to say the least. That I've owned this car almost 6 years now, and I feel like I haven't done a whole lot with it. Although I have done a lot, it doesn't look like it. So I think now I'm gonna get pretty crazy with it.
So even after 6 years building it, it still doesn't even look like you've done much to it?
Not in my eyes, no. I'm about to do a whole lot more. I've got big plans. I want to do interior in the car, full kit, paint, body work, a couple more little knickknacks and doodads. You know what I mean? In-game wing, a new roof spoiler, just little things here and there. I want to do the bay. I want to do a trunk setup, redo the air for the 5th time. Might change the shoes again just because 20s are a little big. Although it looks good, tucks pretty well.
Looks great, dude.
But
Here you go
that's
again.
kind of the gist of it. I might change the shoes again, change the kit, change everything about the car. So the next time you guys see it on the next episode, it might be the same. It might be completely different. I don't know. It all depends.
It's all with time, right?
Yeah, all with time. That's the main thing.
So last question before we take off. What's your views on the scene right now? Not just the VIP scene, but the car scene in general. You came from, even growing up with me, Honda scene. We've expanded to lowrider scenes, VIP scenes. We still do everything, but where do you see the car scene itself?
Right now, unfortunately in Arizona, I don't think it is where it should be. There's too many people, there's too many cars for it to be as dead as it is. And there's a lot of parties out there trying to bring it back. You know, starting new shows, starting to do things. And I think one of the biggest problems is people, the hatred, you know what I mean? Like, people hate on everybody, so it always turns into this thing where we're gonna do a meet, right? And it's like half the crews don't want to go, and there's beef with people and all this, and there's no love in it anymore. You know what I mean? And I also think that too many people are building shit for other people. You know what I mean? Like, I've had this car for 6 years now, and not one part on this car did I put on this car in the attempt to have some random motherfucker say, oh, that's cool. I did it because I thought it was cool, and I think that's what people need to find again. You know what I mean? That's my personal opinion, and I think it plays a major role in the fact of why it sits in the garage and I don't do a whole lot. I mean, I do my part, I try to come out and all, but something's got to give, in my opinion.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, somebody somewhere needs to just get off their ass and do something about it, and people just go with it. You know what I mean? Like, I've been to you and I both have been to other states and gone to their shit and seen what they're about, and they come in heavy, they come in deep. And that thing about us in Arizona is we're not doing that. There's too much segregation. Like the Honda kids are messing with the Hondas, but they don't want to clash with the VIP guys and the lowrider guys and the truck guys. And it's like all this shit is so segregated, and I think that's the biggest problem here. And it's sad. You know what I mean? We're all doing it for a reason, right? Like,
because us against
we're
them,
not just
right?
blowing money for no reason because we got nothing better to do. Because I could think of a gazillion things I could do with my money, but I choose to do this.
Now let me stop you. To elaborate on what he basically just said, we are all a family. In one sense of another, yes, I have a V8. Yes, you have a 4-banger. However you look at it, we're still the same. We're still doing the same thing to these cars. And unfortunately, most of the time, the cops are going to hate us anyways. If your car isn't stock, completely 100%, and you're obeying every law, chances are, I'm not saying all cops are bad, but chances are cops are going to pull you over. They're going to hassle you for the same reason. So if you're viewed as a minority, you might as well click up with all the minorities and click up with everybody else in between, because at the end of the day, we build up this community of cars. It's not just one JDM life. It's not truck life. It's the car community as a whole. To be honest with you, lowriders, it doesn't matter what you have. And what he's saying is we all need to come together. So the next meet that goes on isn't just JDM only. It isn't just trucks only. It's lowriders. You got your classic cars. You got your muscle cars. Phoenix has all this, and we have a lot of it. We just need to bring it together some. So,
But I meant fresh.
what we're doing here, Raul is probably going to be our wheel man because he has 4 doors, unlike me, unlike this guy who's sitting in the car enjoying the window tint. He's probably going to be our wheel man, so you're going to see him at, various episodes when he has time to. Are you excited about this?
Absolutely. I think it's going to be tight.
Do you have faith in this series?
Yes, I do. I hope people do too. Yeah. We need to get on the map.
Definitely. Horn?
We out here.
Really?
Start this bitch because it's probably out of air.
A few moments later.
Just scooped the homie and we pulling up, pulling up.